Plug-in hybrid technology grew out of pretty average family SUVs, but with slowing electric car update and emissions mandates still coming in, it's become the go-to tech for go-fast vehicles like the BMW M5. Its rivals, the Audi RS6 and Mercedes AMG E-Class, will soon adopt similar approaches. We're here today at Bathurst at the Mount Panorama racetrack with two questions to answer about the new car. Firstly, whether the new M5 can deal with rough Australian roads. But second, and perhaps more importantly, whether this new, heavier, slower car actually marks progress over its F90 predecessor.
We'll talk about cost first, with the sedan you see here priced at $259,900 before on-road costs. That's expensive, but does get all manner of goodies. Heated and ventilated seats, soft merino leather upholstery, a 14.9-inch multimedia touchscreen, and metallic paint as standard. You can pay more for carbon ceramic brakes or one of more than 150 individual paint shades like the sepia you see here. Head to carsguide.com.au for the full details.
The first thing to note about this particular M5 is the lovely colour. It's called sepia and it's pretty new for BMW, and it's so intricate. It looks great in all sorts of different lights and has many different personalities. Makes this car look really cool, especially because it's got such intricate details down the flanks, especially where it's 70mm wider than a regular 5 Series. You can see that in the bulged rear arches, and of course you'll never miss it because it's got the M5 insignia on the seat pillar. The general cabin design is very much like your average 5 Series with your big twin screens and a really nice feeling of quality and solidity in here. But there are a few key differences to the M model. We've got this M-specific center console layout here that makes accessing the drive modes that bit easier. And of course, we've got this M overly fat, but really quite nice to hold now steering wheel with its M1, M2 shortcut buttons and nice tactile shift paddles.
The back seats are generous for those up to and over 180 centimeters tall, with clever hidden USB-C charge ports in the back of the seats and tablet mount receivers. There are manually deployable sunblinds too, which is great. The boot is less outstanding, measuring 466 litres, but with the load bay shape compromised by the plug-in hybrid packaging, it would be hard to fit many suitcases or a larger item like a bicycle inside. Lucky there's the Touring. Thankfully, the G90's heart is still a thumping V8. It's an update over the F90's engine, now known as the S68. It displaces 4.4 litres, has a pair of turbos and an electric motor mounted in the gearbox, boosting outputs to 535 kilowatts and 1,000 newton meters. That's a lot of grunt. In fact, it's enough to see this car get from 0 to 100 k's an hour in 3.5 seconds, on to 200 k's an hour in 10.9 seconds, and to a top speed of 305 kilometers an hour. With its 18.6 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the M5 is rated with 69 kilometers of electric-only range, but 60 k's is more likely in the real world. The 3.2 litres per 100 k's fuel consumption figure is very dependent on the situation, and on our enthusiastically driven road loop, we saw 12.4 litres per 100 k's.
So we've taken this thing out on the road on some really testing tarmac just outside of Bathurst and found that it's comfortable, it's compliant, and it is really quite amazingly agile on the road for something so heavy. I know we always bang about the weight, and you've heard it before, but again, the way it disguises the near 2.5 ton mass of this car is seriously fantastic. So, of course, the next logical thing is take it out here on the track at Mount Panorama. Done 2 sessions so far in this car, which is equipped with carbon ceramic brakes. We got our preset saved to the M2 button on the steering wheel, basically full on max attack. We got a little lead car in front of us. But yeah, it's a pretty hairy track. I'd say it's second or third, probably up there, top 5 most scary circuits in the world. And we're coming up here. And the M5, again, it's heavy, but the way BMW's calibrated the steering, the 4-wheel steering, all the safety systems, it's really quite impressive just what this thing can do. And again, the carbon ceramic brakes, they've been pretty hammered today. These cars haven't had much of a breakout on track, and it's not an easy circuit on brakes, Mount Panorama, especially not the second half of it. And the tyres as well, the Hancocks, they're sort of a semi-eco tyre, but they are really, really standing up to the abuse quite well. The safety car that was running this weekend, still on the same set of tyres. Here we come across the top. It's hard to give you a full-on dynamic breakdown of this car while you're trying to learn the circuit a little bit. But what I can say safely is that BMW, I think, has really nailed the brief on the new M5. It's got the duality of character that you want from a super sedan. It's got bags of punch, 1,000 Newton meters, 535 kilowatts. Like, oh, it's stunning. You know, we're approaching speeds of 280 k's an hour down Conrod Straight, and a professional driver who is a little bit less scared of this circuit would go faster again. What a wonderful thing. And what a testament to the engineers at BMW M. What's that? 270 over the crest, and we're going to have a bit of brakes. Woohoo! Spectacular. Again, you can pick some holes in it. Steering, maybe the brake feel could be improved, but when you're out here really hammering it all comes together, and yeah, it's going to be really cool to see how this handles. A little bit more time on Australian roads, a little bit more in town, but I think the plug-in hybrid, the duality of character, the sheer performance and agility of this car, considering its weight and size, and remembering that also the M5 doesn't have to do the super sports car things, there's the M3 and the M2 for that. I think BMW's pigeonholed this thing really well.
The M5 does not have an ANCAP rating, but the 5 Series has a 5-star one. Most of the aids in the M5 are unintrusive and easy to disable, with a track mode turning them all off in one fell swoop. Excellent. It's worth calling out the extremely flattering stability control and traction control systems too, which make you feel like a bit of a hero. Make sure to head to the full written review at carsguide.com.au for all the details. BMW now covers all of its cars with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty in Australia. A 5-year 80,000 kilometre prepaid service pack costs $5,059 for the basic and $8,152 for the service inclusive, which covers brake replacement. Balancing speed, agility, space and efficiency is supremely difficult, and BMW has done a fantastic job bringing the new M5 to market. It's friendlier and less edgy to drive than some of its predecessors. While you may miss a little bit of that hot rod-like character, there's still no doubting that the new G90 M5 is a supremely fast and capable vehicle, able to deliver real driving thrills on both road and track. Make sure you head to carsguide.com.au for the full review.